Hello guys, to the second part of the CRUD app using Rust project on my YouTube channel. So in the last video we added our controller, web server, model and few dependencies that we worked on. In this video, first of all, we'll go ahead and create our Postgres database. I hope you guys are already familiar with pgadmin. This is basically a UI for Postgres database. So make sure you are connected, and once you are, then go ahead and right click and create your database. So once your DB is created, you can run this command to add our table, which will be using the users table, and these fields are same to what our uh, properties in the model looks like. So we have a ID, which is a serial, so auto increment, and it's a primary key of our table. Then we have name, occupation, email and phone number. So I'll leave this command in the description so you can run and create a DB table. Now let's go ahead and add few dependencies that we'll be needing, which is DB, and we'll say SQL X, and here we'll use the version as latest and features as Postgres because we are using Postgres DB, and then macros, and finally runtime Tokyo native TLS. Now whatever you want to call it, a ORM or a DB connector, but I like using SQLX. There are different other like Diesel and a few more in Rust, but SQLX helps you write your own queries, and I just have or want that control with myself of writing the queries. So I'll be using SQLX for that, and let's build it. So once the dependency is added, let's move to our model. Now here we did a mistake by using ID as U64, but it's not supported in SQLX, so we'll be using I32, which is supported. And now let's copy this and add user info. So in our create and post request, which is post and patch put request, which is create and update request, user will be sending us these information to create or update a new user. So instead of using user here in the controller, for the body of create user, we'll be using user info, and same we have to do for update user. Now let's go ahead and add a service. So right click here, new Rust file, user service. So first of all, we'll say pub struct and user service. Here we will be having a pool. We'll be calling it PG pool or Postgres pool. And now impl user service, and here we'll say pub async fn, and new. This can return two types of result. One is a new instance or an error. So here we'll say let pool pg pool options, new, max connections as 5, and then connect, and here we'll pass our URL or connection string, whatever you want to call it, Postgres SQL, and Postgres as our username. And if you have any password, 1234, but I don't have any password, so I'll keep it blank, and then localhost as the instance, and slash our DB name. So as I showed you guys, my DB name is also Postgres. So once we add it, let's await and unwrap. So we get our pool of Postgres, and we'll say OK, self, and pool. So this is our new method added to connect to our DB, and now we will add another method to read the list of users. So we'll say pub async fn list users, and we'll pass self, and result we'll say whack of user comma error. So let's provide definition and let users is equals to SQLX query s, and here we will pass our user, and let's add our query, which is select ID, name, occupation, email, phone from users, our table. So once this is added, we can say fetch all, and here we'll pass immutable self pool dot await. So if this is successful, we'll just send users. So this will help us fetch all the users from DB. Now let's go get ahead and write pub async fn and get users by ID, and here we'll pass and self, and then ID is I32. So result is user or error. So let's go ahead and write our query. We'll say SQLX query s, and here we will use user, select ID, name, occupation, email, phone from users, where ID is equals to $1. And then now let's go ahead and bind our first parameter, which is ID, and then we'll say fetch 1 and self pool dot await and okay user. So this will help us fetch our users by ID. Now let's go ahead and add create user, and here we'll pass again self and then user info. The result will be either we get a unit or error. So let's go ahead and write our query. So we'll say SQLX query, and here we'll say insert into users, and our users is of name, occupation, email, phone, and then values $1, $2, $3, and $4. So these are our 4 properties that we want to add, and then we'll say dot bind user dot name. First is name, then we have user dot occupation, user dot email, user dot phone. So these are our properties, and then we have execute, pass the self pool await, and finally we will do okay and unit. So this will help us insert our properties in the DB. Now let's go ahead and write update and delete user. So since this is kind of same, I just went ahead and written the update query, which is again update users with all our properties and then the bent. And if you want to, just pause this video here and you can write this query. And same for delete, which is again a very simple query of delete by id. So our all the queries are ready, and that's it, I would say, for this video, since it's already a long video. So in the next video we will go ahead and call these from our controller and run our program. So that's it guys for this video. I hope you guys enjoying this series. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video.